They told you manifestation was complicated, but I am here to tell you. It is not only simple, it is instant. For when you speak with faith, when you release a word charged with belief, the universe rushes to obey, and the divine law moves without delay, for the spirit does not measure in hours, days, or years, but in the vibration of your now, and I call this the 3-second manifestation trick, because in the space of a single breath, in less than the time it takes for doubt to creep in, you can plant the seed of your desire and set it into motion, and I want you to understand this deeply. There is no need to strain, no need to struggle, for God's supply is invisible and unlimited, and the moment you align with it, it begins to take form. Yet so many miss it because they hesitate, they delay, they wait until the right time, not realizing that the right time is the moment you dare to speak. And I know some of you have been waiting for years for something to happen. A breakthrough, a letter, a sum of money, a healing. And perhaps you have said affirmations before but doubted them. Perhaps you have prayed but then worried. Perhaps you have asked and then taken it back with your fear. And this is why the 3-second trick works so powerfully. Because it does not give fear a chance to reclaim what you have declared. It does not give reason a chance to argue with faith. For it is done quickly, decisively, and with the authority of a king claiming his throne. For in those 3 seconds, you are not a beggar hoping for crumbs, you are a child of the Most High, stating what is already yours. And when you speak in that way, you are not asking, you are receiving, and the law is compelled to bring it forth. And let me tell you, I have seen this in my own life and in the lives of many I have helped. A woman in need of rent money declared in faith, I have the perfect supply for my rent. It comes to me quickly, easily, and under grace. And within hours, the exact amount was placed in her hand. A man who had lost his job declared in the 3-second window, the perfect position is mine now, and it comes to me without delay. And before the day was over, a call came with an offer better than the one he lost. And I say these not as stories to amuse you, but as proofs of a principle that does not fail. For the universe is a mirror, and will always return what you impress upon it with conviction. And yet, here is where many stumble. They declare something and then undo it with their next words. They plant a seed and then dig it up to see if it's growing. But in this method, the planting is so swift, the declaration so final, that it lodges in the subconscious before doubt can take root. And perhaps you are wondering, what exactly do I do in these 3 seconds? You do this in the instant you feel the desire rise. Instead of reasoning, instead of questioning, instead of worrying how, you simply speak it as though it is already done. You claim it, you name it, and you feel the ownership of it, and you do not qualify it with if, or maybe, or someday. For the law knows nothing of delay, only of command, and when I say speak, I mean with the quiet authority of one who knows. You do not need to shout to move the mountains, you only need to believe, and in those 3 seconds, your belief is pure, untouched by the world, untouched by the opinions of others, untouched by the doubts of yesterday, and that is when the magic happens. That is when the door swings open. And so I say to you, try it now, take a breath, and in the space of 3 seconds declare the thing you most desire as though it is yours now, and see how you feel. For that feeling is the mold into which the divine substance will pour itself, and I will tell you this. You may not see the entire picture yet, but once the seed is planted in this way, signs will begin to appear, pathways will begin to clear, people will begin to cross your path, and the very thing you named will begin moving toward you, for nothing can resist the word spoken in faith. And I will repeat it again, because you must hear it until it becomes part of you. The moment you speak in this way, it is done. And though the outer world may take a little time to catch up, in the realm of spirit, it has already happened. And this is where your work ends and your faith begins. You do not chase, you do not beg, you do not monitor the clock, for every second you spend in fear is a second you are trying to take back the seed. So instead you keep your eyes on the truth, that it is already done, and you live from that place, for faith is not a momentary burst. It is the steady atmosphere in which your life grows, and the 3-second trick is simply the spark that ignites the fire, and as you use it more, you will find that your life begins to move with greater ease, that things which used to trouble you now pass by without touching you, because you know that in any moment, you can speak and it is so, and in the coming parts, I will teach you how to prepare your mind to use this power more effectively, how to clear the inner space so that your declarations are unhindered, and how to maintain the faith until the manifestation is visible to all. But for now, remember this truth: the universe responds instantly to the word of faith, and you are never more than 3 seconds away from a miracle. And now, dear one, if you have listened this far, you are already beginning to feel it. The quiet stirring within you, the tiny whisper that says, "What if it really could be this simple?" I will tell you something most people will never believe until they try it, and yet those who do, write to me saying their whole life began to change in the most unexpected ways. You see, the reason most people fail at manifestation is not because they are unworthy or unlucky, but because they allow their mind to stay busy in the noise of the day. They believe they must labor over their affirmations for hours, write them out 100 times, and strain their mind until it becomes weary. But the truth I discovered, and the truth that was quietly passed among a few of the most successful people of my era, is that the door to your manifestation does not swing open after years of pushing. It opens in the space of seconds, when the conscious mind is quiet and the subconscious is listening. And those precious seconds, my friend, are right before you fall asleep. That is when your mind is a fertile field, and the word you plant will grow without effort. Just one word, chosen with intention, felt in your very soul, will begin to shape the pictures, the people, and the opportunities that meet you in your waking hours. I call it the 3-second manifestation trick because it takes no more than that. Think of it 3 seconds that could alter the rest of your life. This is where I lean in and tell you, the word you choose must be the one that wraps your desire in its simplest form. If you seek love, your word may be cherished. If you seek wealth, it might be overflow. If you long for health, it might be ol. But it must be a word that already makes you feel, in this very moment, that it is true. And here is the looping secret. You do not merely think the word, you feel it. You taste it. You imagine yourself waking in the life where this word is your reality. You let your body relax into it until your breath slows and your eyelids grow heavy. And in those last 3 seconds before sleep takes you, you let the word echo, not in your voice, but in your being. This is the seed, and the soil of your subconscious will water it through the night. You will find, in days or weeks, your outer world shifting to meet the vibration of that word. But listen closely. I must warn you. The mind will try to make it complicated. It will say, surely I must add more steps, more affirmations, more action plans. And yet, in my years of guiding people, I have seen the simplest methods yield the grandest results. Because the subconscious loves simplicity. When it hears one clear command, it obeys without confusion. This is why the 3-second trick works. There is no time for doubt to creep in. There is no time for you to question, is this working? There is only the pure planting of the seed. Do not underestimate this, dear one, for it is often the quiet, hidden things that carry the greatest power. And I loop back to remind you, every night is another chance. Even if you miss one night, the next is ready for you. Your bed becomes your manifestation altar. Your pillow becomes the resting place of your dream. And the best part, no one needs to know what you are doing. It is a private conversation between you and the infinite, a sacred agreement made in the language of feeling. When you understand this, you begin to feel excited to go to sleep, not to escape life, but to prepare it. Imagine this: you go to bed tonight, choose your word, feel it as though it is already yours, and tomorrow a small sign appears, a call, an idea, a shift in mood, that lets you know the seed has taken root. And once you see it work once, you will never again believe that change must be slow. In fact, you may find yourself telling friends, I have a secret, but I can't explain it, you just have to try it. That is how it spreads, like a soft-spoken truth that does not shout, yet moves mountains. And I will say it again, because repetition is the friend of the subconscious. Choose one word, feel it, fall asleep with it. 3 seconds, that is all. As you listen to me now, perhaps you are already choosing your word. Perhaps you can feel it forming on your lips. Let it be the key that unlocks the door you thought was shut. Tonight, make this your ritual. Tomorrow, notice the difference. And each day after, smile at the thought that your dreams are already on their way. The infinite is listening, dear one, and it does not take years to answer. It takes the blink of an eye and the faith to speak the word that aligns your heart with your desire. This is your 3-second miracle. This is your power, and you hold it now. And now that you have begun to see how the mind and heart can be aligned in just 3 seconds, I want you to realize something powerful. The secret is not in the number of seconds. It's in the absolute focus you place in those seconds. The way you step into the end result as if it is already yours. The way you quiet the noise of the world and declare that this is done, it is complete, it is finished. And I want you to feel the difference between wishing for something and claiming it with certainty. Because when I first discovered this 3-second method, I saw that people who struggled for years could suddenly break through, almost like a dam bursting, and I knew it was not a coincidence. It was a law, a spiritual law that works for anyone who applies it, and so I would tell them. Celebrities, business people, artists, before you sleep tonight, you will take 3 seconds to breathe in. Hold your desire in your mind like it's a beautiful photograph. See it in vibrant color. Hear the sounds of it. Feel the emotions of it. And then on the 3rd second you will speak the word that seals it, and that word could be anything that means completion to you. Mine was always, done. Because to my subconscious mind, done meant there was no debate, no delay, no wondering, and they would try it, sometimes skeptically. But the next day they would call or write to me saying, Florence, I don't know how to explain this, but it's already moving, it's already happening. And I would smile because I knew, and I want you to feel that same quiet confidence now. Because life is not about endless waiting. It is about moving into alignment with what is already yours in the invisible. And that's why I keep looping back to this. It's not complicated. You do not need hours of meditation or years of affirmations. You need 3 seconds of complete belief. And I want you to imagine how that feels right now. Maybe you want a home. Maybe you want to be debt-free. Maybe you want health, love, success. And you have been telling yourself that it will take years. But I am telling you that the shift begins in the moment you stop arguing with your good and start owning it. Because the subconscious accepts what is spoken with certainty, and if you keep thinking, it's not here yet, you're telling it to keep it away. But when you say, it's done, and you feel the joy of it, you're telling it to bring it into the visible. And here's the connection point. You've already experienced this before without realizing it. Perhaps you thought of someone you hadn't seen in years and within hours they called. Perhaps you said, I have a feeling I'll get that job. And then you did. Perhaps you declared, tomorrow will be wonderful. And it was. That is proof you have used this law. And now I am simply showing you how to use it on purpose, every day. And here is the secondary hook. What if you could do this tonight, and wake up with evidence that it is working by morning? Would you try it? Would you risk 3 seconds of your life to claim the life you've been dreaming of? Because if you do, you will start to see the signs, the coincidences, the open doors. And once you see them, your faith will double. And when your faith doubles, your results multiply. And so here is my call to action. Tonight, as you lie in bed, take a slow, deep breath. See your desire as if it is already here. Count 1, 2, and on 3, speak your sealing word out loud. Feel the relief of knowing it is complete. Smile and sleep in peace, because the law is already at work for you. And remember, the only thing you must do is not pull it back with doubt tomorrow. Keep it planted. Keep it growing, and soon you will join the countless others who tried this and said, it worked faster than I thought possible. And when that happens, I hope you tell someone else, because the more people who know they can create their good in seconds, the more beautiful this world becomes. And I promise you, you will not only receive what you've asked for, you will receive even better. For that is the nature of the divine. It always gives in abundance to the one who dares to claim in faith, and tonight, you will dare. You may be wondering, dear one, if something so short, so seemingly simple, could truly change the course of your life, but I tell you with the same certainty that I have told hundreds of souls before. It is not the length of a ritual that moves mountains. It is the faith and authority with which it is spoken. For a seed is not mighty because of its size, but because of the life it holds within. And so this 3-second manifestation is not a passing curiosity. It is a doorway into the invisible supply that has been waiting for you all along. And the moment you speak it before sleep, you are entering the realm where all things are possible, where your word is not merely sound but a creative decree. And I must loop back to remind you, do not underestimate the stillness before slumber. For in that quiet you are standing at the gates between the seen and the unseen, and your subconscious is wide open, ready to accept whatever you place into it. And so if you place worry, it will multiply worry. But if you place the word of good, the seed of certainty, it will multiply abundance and joy in ways that will astonish you. And here is the connection point that so many miss. Every person you have ever admired, every so-called lucky break you have ever heard of, every sudden windfall that seemed to appear from nowhere, all of it began with a mental shift, a change in expectation, a moment where the individual believed differently than before. And this 3-second practice is the easiest way to create that shift because it bypasses the noisy, doubting mind and drops directly into the soil of your deeper self. And you might say to me, but Florence, what if I forget? What if my mind wanders? And I will tell you that it does not matter how many times you have failed before. It does not matter how many nights you have gone to bed with worry. What matters is that you do it tonight, and if you forget tonight, do it tomorrow night, and if you forget tomorrow night, do it the night after, for you are training not just your tongue but your inner knowing to accept that good comes quickly, easily, and without strain. And I must bring the loop once more. The moment you say this one word, feel it, taste it, see it as done. And do not look around tomorrow for signs of movement with anxious eyes, for the seed grows in silence, and the more you trust it, the more it grows without your interference. And now here is your secondary hook. I have seen this used to attract unexpected sums of money, yes, but also healing, reconciliations, opportunities, and even moments of divine protection, for the word you speak can be applied to any area of your life, and that is why this 3-second manifestation is not just a trick but a spiritual law in miniature. For in those seconds you are aligning with the truth that your good is already here, already prepared, already assigned to you by divine mind, and when you speak it, you are not begging for it to come but commanding it to reveal itself now. And here is my call to action to you, my friend. Do not let another night pass in the old habit of falling asleep with the dust of the day still clinging to your thoughts. Instead, wash your mind clean in those final breaths before slumber by speaking this word, as though it were the final note in a perfect song. And tomorrow when you awaken, carry yourself as one who already holds the thing you asked for life will meet you at the level of your faith. And remember, in 3 seconds you can plant a seed that will grow for a lifetime, so speak it tonight, speak it tomorrow, and speak it until your very bones know that it is so. Do you realize that the shortest distance between your desire and its arrival can be just 3 seconds? I know that sounds impossible to many people, but impossibility is simply a word people use when they haven't yet experienced the miraculous. I have seen lives change in less time than it takes to blink, simply because the person chose to align, believe, and speak the right word at the right moment. That is what I have been teaching all these years. Not magic, not wishful thinking, but divine law in action. The 3-second manifestation trick is not about racing against the clock. It's about slipping into a state of absolute certainty so quickly that the universe responds before doubt has time to form. Most people spend days, months, even years wrestling with their own disbelief, feeding their desires with hesitation, watering them with fear, and then wondering why the harvest never comes. But when you master these 3 seconds, you stop planting weeds alongside your roses. I want you to imagine right now, as you hear my words, that you could choose a single phrase, one word, even, that acts as a spiritual key, unlocking the door to what you've been longing for. When I first began sharing this in my lectures, some of the brightest minds of my time, artists, writers, business magnates, would sit up straight, their eyes wide with disbelief and curiosity. One word, they would ask me, can one word really bring me my heart's desire? And I would smile. Because the truth is not only can it bring you what you want, it can bring it faster than anything else you've tried. This is because words are containers of power. Every syllable you speak sends a vibration into the invisible, and that vibration becomes a pattern, and that pattern becomes an event, and that event becomes your life. The trouble is most people speak without awareness. They pour out words of worry, lack, and defeat, never realizing they are etching the blueprint for the very reality they complain about. The 3-second trick stops that cycle in its tracks, giving you the chance to send out a burst of pure creation before your habitual thoughts sneak in. Here is how it works the moment before you fall asleep. When your conscious mind is surrendering and your subconscious is wide open, you speak your chosen word or phrase. Not in desperation, not in pleading, but as if it were already yours. You breathe it out with the calm confidence of someone describing the sunrise they just saw. And then, you let it be. You don't wrestle with it. You don't drag it back into your waking worries. You let the invisible forces take that word and run with it. Why 3 seconds? Because in those 3 seconds, there is no resistance. The doorway between the seen and the unseen is open. You are neither here nor there, and that is where creation slips in. I have seen people use this to heal relationships, attract wealth, recover from illness, and even find homes when they had nowhere to go. And the most extraordinary thing is that once they see it work once, they realize it can work again and again and again. Now, some will say, but Florence, what if I say the word and nothing happens? And I will tell you this, if nothing happens, it is not the word that failed, but the seed of doubt you planted after you spoke it. That is why I loop this lesson over and over. Because the more you hear it, the more it will replace that doubt. This is the connection point I want you to feel deep in your bones. The universe is listening to you right now. Not next year, not after you've proved yourself worthy, not after you've worked yourself to exhaustion. It's listening now, and what you say now matters. Imagine if the next thing you say with full belief could bring you your desire. Would you waste it on complaining? Would you spend it on fear? Or would you choose a word so rich with power, so alive with certainty, that it pulls your good into your experience like a magnet pulls iron? That is the secondary hook I want you to hold on to. Because here's the call to action tonight. When you close your eyes, I want you to choose your word. It might be done. It might be thank you. It might be wealth or love or healed. Whatever it is, let it be the word that paints the picture in your mind so vividly you can almost touch it. Speak it slowly. Speak it as truth. And then, drift into sleep knowing you have done all you need to do. The law is at work. Your desire is on its way. The only thing left is for you to get ready to receive it. And when it comes, remember, you did it in 3 seconds. And if you can do it once, you can do it for the rest of your life. They told you manifestation takes time, that you must wait weeks or months to see results. But I am here to tell you something they will not say. Your shift can happen in just 3 seconds, and if you learn to use those 3 seconds correctly, your entire life can bend toward your desire faster than you ever thought possible. For it is not the length of time that creates your reality. It is the depth of faith and the clarity of the word you speak. And when you understand this, you stop trying to chase outcomes and instead command them, not with arrogance, but with spiritual certainty. And I will keep repeating this because I want you to feel it. You are never more than 3 seconds away from beginning the creation of your new life. And every single time you think, speak, or feel with intention, you are setting creation in motion, whether you are aware of it or not. So let me ask you, how many moments have you already wasted today letting doubt speak louder than your desire? How many times have you repeated the story of lack instead of the story of abundance? Because here is the secret, and I will make it so simple you will not forget it. Before you fall asleep, in those precious seconds when your mind is soft, open, and ready to receive, you must speak one word that represents everything you desire, one word that floods your heart with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And you must speak it as if it is already done, and this is where most people fail. They speak it with hope, not certainty, and hope is beautiful, but it leaves room for doubt. While certainty commands the universe to obey, and this is why I say it takes only 3 seconds, because in those 3 seconds you can speak your word, feel it in your body, and lock it into your subconscious like a seed planted in fertile soil. And once planted, it begins to grow without you having to dig it up every morning to see if it is working. You simply water it with gratitude, feed it with belief, and protect it from the weeds of negative thought. And if the weeds come, and they will, you pull them out immediately by returning to your word, returning to your feeling, returning to your 3-second act of creation. And I am looping back here, because you must hear this again. The speed of your manifestation is not decided by the clock. It is decided by the strength of your alignment. And when alignment is perfect, manifestation is instant. For the universe does not measure in time, it measures in vibration. And you have complete control over the vibration you choose. And I will tell you something else you might have forgotten. You have already manifested instantly before. You just did not realize it. You thought it was luck, coincidence, or timing, but it was you, focused for a moment so purely that reality had no choice but to shift. So imagine now if you chose to do it on purpose every single night, using those 3 seconds before sleep to plant the exact seed you want. And I know you are wondering, what if I choose the wrong word? But there are no wrong words if they come from a place of love, abundance, and trust, for the word itself is not magic. The belief you pour into it is the magic. So if your word is wealth, feel wealth wrapping around you as if it is already yours. If your word is love, feel love so deep it is as if it has been there forever. If your word is health, feel your body so vibrant you could run into tomorrow without stopping. And as you feel it, whisper it with calm authority, knowing the universe is saying yes to you. And here is the connection point. You and I are the same in this. We both have a mind that drifts into worry. But we also both have the power to interrupt that drift and replace it with the seed we actually want. So you are not starting from zero. You are simply remembering the truth you have always known. And in remembering, you awaken. And once you awaken, you cannot go back to the old way of begging life to be kind to you, for you will know you have the ability to speak your reality into existence. And I am telling you this as someone who has seen the impossible become possible again and again. And now it is your turn. But you must decide. Will you use your 3 seconds tonight, or will you let them pass again, while your mind runs on the old story? Because one day you will look back and realize the gap between where you were and where you wanted to be was never months or years. It was always just 3 seconds of focus away, so take them, claim them, and tonight, as you close your eyes, let that one word drop into your heart like a stone into still water, rippling through every layer of your being until you feel the shift, and when you wake tomorrow, expect the signs for they will be there, and when you see them, say, thank you, as if it is already complete, because it is, and I will say it one more time so it stays with you. You are 3 seconds away from your new life, and the only thing you need to do is use them, so start now, and never stop. My dear friend, if you have journeyed with me through every word so far, then you already know that this 3-second manifestation trick is more than a clever phrase. It is a doorway into a different life, a different reality, a different you. I began with the story of those in the 1920s who whispered this very secret under their breath before sleep. Millionaires in pearls and tailored suits, artists whose work suddenly soared, people who seemed to have a magic touch. But the truth is, there is nothing mystical in the sense of something unreachable. It is all very practical, very real, and astonishingly simple. And I want you to see it for what it is, a 3-second alignment of your mind, your word, and your feeling that can set in motion forces far greater than the problem you are facing. I have said it before, and I will say it again, because repetition is the mother of remembrance. Your word is your wand, and what you speak in those quiet moments just before sleep is a seed planted in the most fertile ground of your subconscious. This is why we loop back again and again, speak it, feel it, believe it, rest in it. That is the 3-second miracle. And yet people ask me, Florence, why 3 seconds? Why not 3 hours? Because in 3 seconds, there is no time for doubt to creep in. In 3 seconds, there is no space for overthinking. In 3 seconds, the conscious mind cannot sabotage the seed. It is pure, quick, decisive, a lightning flash of faith. And so, I invite you, as you have listened and reflected and perhaps even practiced in these moments, to hold this truth. Your miracle is only 3 seconds away. Yes, right now, this very breath could be the one where you choose a new thought, a new word, a new life. Can you feel the power in that? Can you sense how every excuse falls away in the face of something so instant, so possible? You need not wait for the new year, for the next opportunity, for the perfect conditions. The perfect condition is now, and the perfect tool is already in your possession. I will loop you back to the beginning so you never forget. Before you sleep tonight, in the last 3 seconds before you drift into the soft velvet of unconsciousness, speak your word. Not a paragraph, not a desperate plea, not a long-winded explanation, just one clear, confident word that captures your desire as already fulfilled. Wealth, love, health, peace. Choose it, feel it, and release it. Then trust that the forces you cannot see are already moving, like an invisible army arranging the stage of your life. I have seen it happen too many times to doubt it now. And here is the deeper secret: it is not the word itself that has the power. It is the certainty you attach to it. A person can say, wealth, 1,000 times and never see a penny if they are riddled with disbelief, while another can whisper it once, with unshakable conviction, and watch the abundance unfold. This is why I have brought you here through story after story, reminder after reminder, loop after loop, because I want your belief to be unshakable. You have been trained by the world to expect slow change, hard work, endless waiting. But the laws of the unseen do not obey the laws of delay. They respond to faith, to clarity, to the confident word. And when you practice this 3-second trick, you are telling the universe, I am ready now. You are declaring, I accept. And most importantly, you are doing it without the heaviness of strain. Oh, how many people strain themselves in prayer, in affirmation, in ritual, as though the heavens were reluctant to bless them. But when you do this right, there is no strain, only a calm joy, a quiet assurance, a knowing smile as you turn over on your pillow, letting the work be done without your constant supervision. And so, tonight, when the day is done and the lights are low, when you have brushed away the dust of the day and laid your head down, you will remember my voice. You will remember the loop we have traveled together, the truth that your miracle is never farther than 3 seconds away. You will remember the stories, the faces, the lives transformed. You will remember that in this moment, you are not just someone wishing. You are someone declaring. And you will do it with the ease of someone who knows the end from the beginning. Speak your word. Feel it. Release it. Sleep in peace. wake to change. And when you see it, whether in a small, quiet blessing or in a grand, undeniable shift, do not forget to give thanks. Gratitude is the magnet that draws more, and in the simple act of acknowledging what has arrived, you prepare the way for what is still on its way. My dear, this is the game of life, and you have been given a winning move. Do not waste it. Do not delay. Try it tonight and every night until it becomes as natural as breathing. And one day, you will tell your own story, and someone else will listen wide-eyed, just as you have today. And perhaps you will say, "It was Florence's voice that told me the secret, but it was my own belief that made it real." That is the moment I have been speaking toward, the moment when you no longer borrow my certainty but carry your own. Until then, let us loop once more for the last time. 3 seconds, one word, pure belief. That is all. That is everything. Now go. Your life is waiting, and it will not keep you waiting long. And now, my friend, as we stand here together in this moment, I want you to realize something deeply. The 3-second manifestation trick is not just about those 3 seconds before sleep. It's about claiming your power every time you speak, every time you think, every time you feel. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the architect of them. When I told you to say that one word before sleep, it wasn't just a bedtime ritual. It was a declaration to the universe that you are open, willing, and ready to receive. It was a signal, a flare of faith, that travels faster than light to the heart of your desire. And I will say this again, because repetition is the mother of belief. The universe responds to the clearest, most confident signal you send. Every single night you have the opportunity to plant a seed, and every single morning you have the choice to water it with gratitude, expectation, and unwavering belief. So tonight, when your head touches the pillow, don't just say the word. Feel it as though it is already your truth. See the scene of your wish fulfilled. Feel the warmth of it in your chest. Smile, because you know that creation has already begun. And tomorrow, when you open your eyes, don't go searching for evidence of your manifestation in the outer world. Instead, carry the vibration of it within you, knowing that it is on its way. The more you trust, the faster it comes. The more you doubt, the further it drifts. And here's the beauty. You can start over at any moment. If you miss a night, if you forget, if you fall into worry, simply stop, breathe, and begin again. You are never too late, never too far gone, never too unlucky to change your reality. The same way a star can shine in the deepest darkness, your desire can bloom in the unlikeliest conditions. All it takes is your alignment, your word, your faith. And I'll loop back to where we started, because I want this to echo in your soul. This 1920s secret changed the lives of those who dared to try it, and it will change yours too. 3 seconds. One word, a lifetime of transformation. Tonight, give the universe its cue, and watch as your world begins to shift in ways you couldn't have imagined. Now go, my friend, and speak your future into existence, because it's already yours, waiting for you to claim it.